It is coming down, y'all. Look at all that. By the time I got in my car, my sweater was just coated in snow. And now it's melting and soaking through, so now I have a wet sweater, so that's fun. So I have not done a vlog in a while because I started babysitting. I don't know how the girl that I babysit for is going to feel about having her son on a vlog. I have to ask her. She said it's okay if he's on my personal Facebook, but I haven't specifically asked about vlogs. But I thought for this evening we could just vlog just, you know, just the two of us, well, you know, three of us. My husband's out of town for the night for work, and I just stopped off at Menards and picked up some, they're like peel and stick backsplash, but they look nicer than probably what you're thinking. So I thought we'd go home and have an adventure with that because I don't have a backsplash in my kitchen, and I think I'd like to have one. And I've been admiring these type of backsplashes for a while, and they're versatile. Like sometimes you could put them on the ceiling, like a ceiling tile, which I've thought about doing, but they're not cheap. They're nearly $20 per sheet. Or you can use them like a backsplash, which is going to take a lot less. So they're pretty big. I bought 6 of them tonight. Hopefully that is enough. So this will be my first time caulking anything. Hopefully it goes well. The guy that works here gave me a few pointers, so hopefully it's a good experience and it goes well and it turns out beautifully. And I mean, I paid about $100 for everything, so I think it was like right around 160, but I got a few, well, I got both the kids a car, which was like $3 a piece. And then I got some bags of potato chips because I'm going to do a whole separate video on how to make mashed potatoes out of your potato chips. Have you guys seen that viral TikTok? I'm not on TikTok personally, but I've been seeing these videos. So I wanted to try it out making this. Sorry, I got a guy walking right towards me. I think he works here. He's collecting carts and he's like looking, we're making eye contact. Like, yes, I am vlogging. Stop looking at me. So this conversation's none of your business. So anyways, we're gonna try out making our own mashed potatoes out of potato chips. I want to try it. They're gonna be expensive mashed potato chips. These chips were nearly $3 a bag. Granted, I got them at Menards, so I think their potato chip prices are a little higher. The bags are like 8.5 ounces of potato chips, but the ones I've seen so far are all like plain Lay's. So I got one bag of sour cream and onion, and then I got another bag of cheddar. And then I got a bag of cheddar just because we like potato chips. So we're gonna go mutilate those chips. I think that might be a separate video though. So tonight we're just hanging out. We're gonna take the kids on home and we're gonna have an adventure in putting up backsplash. And that video about the mashed potatoes will probably go up before this one because, you know, viral videos, you gotta get on the trend if you're gonna do it quickly. So I'll link that one below if you're curious how that worked out. But let's head on home before the roads start to ice over. It's still like 33 degrees outside, so I'm sure they're starting to, because we already had like a bunch of snow got dumped on us and all that was starting to melt, so the roads are already wet and now they're turning into slushy, icy messes. So let's adventure on home before it gets any worse out here. A minute ago, I got the kids some little cars at Menards. Levi's opened up just fine and normal. This one, look at the safety thing on the bottom. It has freaking screws in it. What? So now I gotta find a tiny little screwdriver to get this toy out. Levi's had these little twisty things on the bottom, which are a pain, but like they're not hard to get off. Screws? Really? I think they're getting hungry. Ira's getting fussy. He just got in trouble for getting into the dog food and the water bowl and made a giant mess on the floor. I took him a water trying to appease him so he'd be quiet, but he's crying anyways. So I'm gonna make them dinner here in a minute. What, buddy? What? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You hear him telling you how bad he's got it? It's just the worst. How do I just unscrew this? Because I don't think I have a screwdriver tiny enough to get in there. I'm working on it, bud. You told them toy makers not to put screws in the toys anymore. Okay, got my husband's little screwdriver set, and let's see if one of these will fit, because I can't just do it by hand. I thought maybe I could, but it is in there pretty tight. It might be too tiny. Let's try this one. You hear him in there? Oh my goodness. Are you so hungry? He also didn't get a nap today, so he's like super tired. Oh, I've got water all over here from him playing the water ball. Just soaked right on over here. I'm gonna make dinner here in a second. Let me get Ira's car out. How about goat cheese sandwich and tater tots?
I don't like tater tots.
You like french fries. I think you're gonna like tater tots. I think you will like tater tots. Okay, success. We got it out of the packaging. But good Lord, if you don't have a tiny screwdriver, you're just not getting it out. Ira. Where'd you get off to, bud? Oh, he's right there. Watching TV. There you go. You're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. He walks now. He's walking everywhere now. Here, your new truck. Yeah, the little boy I babysit is like 1 day older than Ira, so it's like having twins. He comes in the evening about 8 or so. He stays all night long with us, and then I have him all morning, and then she picks him up around 3:30, and then he goes home, and then he comes back again in the evening, and we have him all week long. So it's like having twins. It's been an adjustment period having 3 kids, especially 2 so close in age. It's good though. We enjoy having him. The kids have a lot of fun together, and he's been a good influence on Ira because now Ira's walking. I gotta work on the talking though, but he's walking now, so that's good. Yes, I did color my hair. We let Levi color his hair red. There was a little boy in his class who had his hair dyed blue, and Levi wanted to do his hair red, so we let him. And my stylist said that it was a pigment. And what happened? So we colored Levi's hair. I had like a whole bottle left over of this dye, and so I put it in my own hair because I was like, well, I'll just dye my own hair red and we'll see how it looks. I should have the box around here somewhere. I'm not quite sure where it's at though. So anyways, yeah, I put it in my own hair, and it looked awful. Looked like the job a 15-year-old might do, or worse. It was horrendous. All I could see was like red chunks in my hair. It was bad. And so I went into my stylist to get it corrected, and she said we could either do a Malibu treatment, which might take it out because it's a pigment. It wasn't like an actual dye. Okay, Levi. He's always talking. Y'all got a little one who just never stops talking. So anyways. So she said that what I put in my hair was a pigment, not a dye. And so the Malibu treatment might take it out. But if they didn't take it out, we'd have to color my hair. So I was like, just color it. I don't want to pay for Malibu treatment and then just have to color my hair anyway, so just color it. So it's not black. It's a very, very dark brown. So I don't know if it's picking up brown or all on camera because it's looking almost black on camera. But I just had it done a couple days ago, so I'm sure it'll start to fade a little bit. So anyways, here's the backsplash stuff that I bought for my kitchen. I've been eyeing this stuff for a while. I love the way that it looks. And you could use it as ceiling tiles. But like I said, they're like $20 per sheet, okay? Like they're the length of my shoulders. They're $20 per sheet. That's a lot. So I bought 6 of these, well over $100. But we're gonna do them here along my backsplash. So I want to do the whole length, right? So we got from here by the fridge all the way down. So I'd like to do all of that. I'd even like to wrap it around and come over by the sink here maybe. I don't know if I have enough to do all of it. But I just kind of want to see what it's going to look like a little bit. These are potato chips for that video. Oh, I also have some stuff in here to show you guys too. So this is where it's gonna go. I have to find like an X-Acto knife or something because I'm gonna have to cut out for around my plugs. But it should look. Is it gonna be too tall? What? No! I mean, I guess I can cut it, so it shouldn't be too dramatic, but I don't trust my cutting abilities. I'm worried that I'm gonna make it not look good. Oh, I can slide it down behind my cabinet. Okay. So what do we think? I think that's gonna look so cute. Yes, I love how that is gonna look. I hope I have enough to do the entire kitchen. I am so excited, you guys. Yes. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you probably hear dog slurping sounds right now because, you know, I'm vlogging. So Yoshi's gonna drink some water because that's what he does. At least he cleaned up all of the dog food that Ira threw on the floor. So, you know, take the wins where you can. So what's bringing this whole project around is that I just feel like I need to do something to spruce up my space. This is something I've thought about doing for a long time, and I have not really done any home improvements in a while because we've been talking about moving and getting another house. Nothing has come through on that. Sorry about this angle. I think it's awful, but I don't know where else to put you guys where I'm not gonna have a major glare. So yeah, like everything keeps, just do a squat here. Everything keeps falling through on the houses. Like, I'm sure you guys have heard there's like a housing shortage, and there's actually new builds going on, which I was unaware of until we started looking for houses, which they're out of our price range for what we would want anyways. So it's better for us just to get a used house, pre-built, whatever, older home. So there was one house we wanted originally that started the whole thing about looking into buying houses. I think I've told you guys about it a couple of times. Turned out the whole place was gutted on the inside, and it was gonna be like a huge project, and both our realtor and our loan lender, both on separate conversations, told us they wouldn't recommend us buying that property. So we had to let that dream go. Then we found another house that was a couple towns over. Ira's crying again, y'all. We're just gonna power through this, and then I'm gonna get them fed. So we found another house a couple towns over that was super cute, would have been perfect for us. We had it was in our price range, like under our price range, like about 120 is where we're comfortable. We're approved for 200,000. This house was 89,000 and would have been perfect for us. It was on the market for 3 days. On the third day, we had an appointment to go tour the house. 3 hours before our appointment to go and see the house, it sold. They accepted an offer. So that one was off the table. And then there was another one out in the country, different town, and the deal with houses out in the country is that they should qualify for the USDA loan, which means that it's no money down, which would be fantastic because then the money we have saved in the bank for a down payment, we can just keep, you know, and then we could use it for any kind of renovations that we might need to do on the property. So my biggest thing is like getting a fence because we got little ones and a dog. Like, a fenced in backyard is kind of a priority for us. So we were gonna go look at this house out in the country. I was asking my realtor about it, and she tells us that they're only accepting conventional loans. And it had been on the market for a while, and it's a beautiful farmhouse. It has just as much yard space as we have now. So if you've been with me for a while, you know I have a pretty large backyard. And the house next to it, we drove out and looked at it before we contacted our realtor, just because there's been other houses that we thought would be a good fit for us, because on Zillow, like, it looks really good on the outside and the yard looks big, and then you go see it in person and you're like, oh no, this is not gonna work, you know. So before we contact our realtor about a house, we've taken just to driving out to the house, seeing what the drive would be like depending on where it's located. This would have added like 15 extra minutes to my husband's drive time. But the house was beautiful. It was $120,000. It was out in the country. Like, it ticked all the boxes. And we were like, well, it's worth the extra 15-minute drive. Plus, on the Zillow listing, it had a new roof. It had a new furnace. It had a new water heater. It had new water softener. It had new plumbing. It had some new electrical. It had like all these like really nice updates, new flooring. But when she contacted them to find out like, hey, why is this on the market for so long? I've been there for like 3 or 4 months. they told her that they only wanted to take a conventional loan, and they only want a conventional loan because they don't want to be on the hook to pay for anything that might come up in an inspection. If you do the USDA loan, which is no money down, the mortgage company will require an inspection along with a fair appraisal to make sure the house is listed at a correct price and not being like drastically oversold or overpriced. And if something really big comes up in the inspection, then the current homeowners could be on the line to pay for any issues. And the thing that worried us is like, you've done so much to this house to renovate it. Like, you have done so much to renovate this house. What are you so afraid of coming up in an inspection? It's a big old red flag for us. And it's being out in the country. It was on a septic system and a well. So the big thing that came up that we were worried about is like, there's gonna be something wrong with the septic system or the well. I don't know what it costs to have a new well drawn. I just checked on him. I know he's crying. He's tired and he's hungry. So I don't know what it would be to have a new well dug, but I know a new septic system is about $15,000. So we didn't want to get into there and have something majorly drastic going on, because dealing with a damaged septic system is a mess. I've had family members have that before. It's awful. I'm gonna go get him dinner, get him settled. We'll come back to this. So this afternoon I went to lunch with my mom at Cracker Barrel. So dinner for the kids tonight is biscuits with butter and jelly, leftover grilled cheese sandwiches, leftover tater tots, and some grapes. That's what they both got. Let's go feed them. So hopefully they stop crying. Actually, I don't think Ira's that hungry. I think he's more tired than anything because he missed his nap. So it's going to be an early bedtime for him tonight. But I'm sure Levi's getting hungry. So give them some food and then we can keep talking. So in case you guys are wondering how my night's going, I managed to dump an entire Pepsi all over my floors. And it's on this side too. So now I have to mop. I freaking hate mopping. It's like the worst thing ever. I mean, it needs done. I just don't want to do it, right? Like, can somebody else come mop for me? So anyways, yeah, the house out in the country, they wanted a conventional mortgage on it. That's all they were accepting because they didn't want to be on the hook for anything that came up in the inspection. So that made us very uncomfortable about the idea of the house. So we decided not to go look at it on the inside or anything like that. Funny thing about that house is that though it had a nice sized yard to it, the house right next door, what the fuck was that? Oh my gosh. Ira threw a grape in here and I just seen something, it looked brown. Something little just run across my floor. I thought I had a mouse. Oh my god, it was a grape. Ira chucked a grape. I thought a mouse came running. I was like, oh no. Oh no, we've had 2 of those this year. I don't know if the cat got them or the dog, but we found them decapitated in the morning. Somebody ate their heads. Anyway, that got gruesome. So, yeah, the house right next door to this property was vacant and falling apart. So our first thought was like, hey, if this works out in like 5 years or so, we could just buy the property next door, tear it down, and have an even bigger yard. Which, if you've been with me for a while, that's what we already did with the last next door house. It had a fire, and so we bought it after the fire, had it demolished, and that's why we have such a big yard in the middle of town, because most of these lots in town are 0.21 of an acre, and so combining both of ours, we now have 0.42. So our yard's pretty big for this end of town. Most people don't have that much yard space, which is one of the things that like we really want in a next house, is because like we love our yard. I don't know that I want more than a full acre. I think half an acre is really about perfect for us. A full acre wouldn't hurt my feelings. More than that, I think that's too much yard work. But unless I had a pool on it, like had a pool on it, bigger house, garage, I mean, you can eat up an acre pretty quickly. But we definitely still want to have a big yard. So that's something that's like a factor into all the houses we're looking at. But anyways, house in the country, we just didn't feel comfortable with. So that brings us around to my friend's mom's house. I've mentioned it to you guys a couple of times. It was higher end on our, like, what we're comfortable spending limit. Again, we're approved for $200,000, but the house she has, she was wanting to sell for $140,000 to us. And she said if we didn't buy it, she was going to list it for $150,000. On Zillow, the estimated price of the house was $200,000. So we, I guess, had some mixed communication there. We went and looked at it back in October. We thought it was a beautiful, perfect house, but we definitely have to save more money for it, for a bigger down payment, because it was a bigger house than what we were, you know, like a more expensive house than what we were planning on like originally getting. But it was like everything we wanted. It ticked all of our boxes, and it was fairly newly remodeled. It had been completely remodeled back in like 2014. So the paint was still pretty fresh. The carpets weren't that old, about 6 years. They looked like they were in really good condition. It had ceiling fans and lights in all of the bedrooms. It was just a beautiful move-in ready house on an acre of land. So we told them like we were interested, but we'd probably need to wait until after tax time when we got our tax return check to be able to buy it, because at the time I think we had right around $6,000 in savings, and we knew we were going to need closer to $8,000 or more. So being that this house was in town, it would not qualify for the USDA loan. It would have to be a conventional mortgage. The USDA loans is to encourage people to move out into the country in like tiny little pocket communities so that those areas don't like dry up. So being that this house is in town, it wouldn't qualify. It'd have to be conventional. Right now things are like 3%, so I think we're going to need a little over $8,000 to buy the house. Since then we've had stimulus checks, and we have added to our savings in general, and so we've got a little over $8,000 saved up in a money market account. So don't come for me, because I don't know how those money market accounts work, but you can't just pull up at the bank and take the money out, right? Like, it's a process. So don't come at me trying to rob me. I don't got it in my back pocket. But anyways, we have like just enough for a down payment on that house right now. Like we think just enough. But we never told them that, because we thought they were gonna let us know when they were ready to sell. I know she wanted to sell, but they still had like a bunch of their stuff in the property. Like they would really need to just clean it out. So we never got back with them, and they thought we were waiting for for tax return season, which is coming up right around the corner. But her mom got a phone call from a realtor asking just to buy the property, and they offered to pay her the full $150,000 that she was asking for. And apparently she was getting behind on the mortgage, and so she went ahead and sold it. She actually sold it yesterday. So, and my friend, as soon as she got home and found out, she let me know. So it really sucks for us, because we were very interested in it, but from a financial standpoint, we're probably going to be better off you know, waiting, because to buy that house, like, it would probably strap us for probably 3 to 4 years, honestly, just getting some other things paid off. So in the long term, like from a financial standpoint, though that house like ticked all of our boxes, we could afford to buy it and we could afford the payments on it, it would really like leave us kind of strapped for cash in a sense. Like we can make all of our payments, we just wouldn't have like a lot of extra cash. So from that standpoint, it's probably better off. But because it ticked all of our boxes, it was everything we wanted, we were like, well, even though we'd be a little tight for a couple of years, like it would be worth making that investment. But from the standpoint of my mom's friend, she really needed this, right? Like she needed to get out from that mortgage, and they paid her, you know, enough money to pay off her mortgage. And then she also made, you know, like a little bit of a profit, which is awesome for her. And she didn't have to deal with, you know, realtors and all that stuff and like listing fees and everything that goes into selling a house. She's doing it directly through a realtor's agent who just wants to buy the house to flip it, which honestly, I think they're just going to buy it, clean it, and then flip it. And they're probably going to list it for $200,000 or more. I'm going to guess they're going to put it on the market for $220,000. That's my thoughts. And then come down if they need to. I don't know. Houses are just priced so high right now, and they're selling so quickly, it's just insane. So like even if they put it on the market right now, like I don't think that we could even afford to buy it. Like it's just, you know, so it sucks. But the way I look at it is that the house just was not meant for us. Whatever house is meant for us is just not on the market right now. And who knows, we might just mess around and save up enough money for a down payment to have a house built. I don't know. If this goes on long enough, we might just have all of our bills paid off and be debt free. Anyways, what this all comes down to is that, and the house we're in now is an inheritance from my grandma. So we don't have a mortgage on it, which is nice, and we love the house we're in, but it's in a really crappy neighborhood. Like we just don't feel very safe here. So we would like to move because of the safety issues. So with that being said, brings us into this project for this evening. Knowing that pretty much all of our housing options that we have been looking at are now off the table, I feel like I just needed to do something to spruce up the house that I'm in. and make me a little bit happier here. So, because I don't know how long we're going to be here. Probably forever. I'll probably die here. That's how this is going to work out. So, I'll have no debt, but I'll have no new house. Worst things could happen, you know. That's first world problems. So anyways, I'm going to eat my leftover burrito from Taco Bell from last night and mop my floors. And then we're going to get to putting that thing up. So I ran into a snag tonight for doing this project. So I thought I bought a caulking gun, okay, and while I was there, I ran into one of the workers. He asked if I needed any help. I ran into it like it's just a casual meeting. He came and asked if I needed any help, and I was asking him about what kind of caulk I should get and like where's the caulking guns because I couldn't find them. I was finding random caulk like all over the place, like displays, but no caulking guns. So he took me to the caulking guns. He was showing me how to use the caulking guns. He recommended some caulk for me, and I didn't buy the caulking gun. I don't know what happened. Levi would not listen to me in the store. He kept wandering down to the end of the aisle and was making things very frustrating for me for listening to this guy talk. And so at one point I had to walk away and grab him and go stick him into the shopping cart. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I didn't end up getting the caulking gun. I thought that I bought it, but I checked my receipt and it's not there. So the only thing I can think is that the guy set it back on the shelf after getting distracted by Levi because, like I said, he just like would not quit. He's been on one today. It's like, I mean, he's been pretty good, but like when it comes to minding me, you know, it's one of those days. So I'll have to wait until tomorrow and go someplace and get a caulking gun. Do it after I drop Levi off for school probably. And then Ira is not happy about being in bed. We're also getting rid of the pacifier, so that makes things extra fun. He's been handling nap times without the pacifier for the most part, and last night was his first night without the pacifier. He's done a couple naps without it. Last night was his first like full day, didn't get it at nighttime either. He slept all last night once he was into bed, like once he fell asleep, but getting him to fall asleep was hard. So he's in there, he's got his blankie, he's got music playing, he had a sippy cup, like half a cup of water to take with him, and so, you know, he's got, you know, he's got all that in there with him. He's just not, he's like overly tired, so he's having a hard time falling asleep. But I didn't want to put him down at 6 o'clock. It's now like 7:18. He normally goes to bed at 7:30. But I was afraid that if I put him down too early, then like he would take like a power nap and be up at 8, and then, you know, it'd be a disaster. So I just made him stay up until 7. It's now 7:18. I just put him down like maybe 5 minutes ago. So once he falls asleep, he should be good for the rest of the night. But he's not happy about being in bed, for one, and for two, he's not happy about not having his pacifier. So Levi is sitting at the table right now coloring in his coloring book. I seen a few YouTube videos talking about how to caulk without a caulk gun, but I can't get it to work well. Like, they're like, take your caulk, and then at the very end of it, shove the handle part of your hammer inside and push, and then it'll come right out. And in their videos, it works like a dream. And I try it, and I can't do that one hand, well, I mean, two-handed, but like, it's not easy. Like, I mean, I don't think I'm a weak person necessarily, but I can't hardly, I mean, I got like the tiniest little bit to come out, and I'm like, no. This is gonna make this project frustrating AF. I gotta put that much effort in to get like the tiniest little bit. Like, I'll show you. So with all my pushing, that's how much caulk I got out, right? Like, no. I would be trying to get caulk out all night long for like one of these panels if I went with that method. So I don't know how those people are doing it, but it ain't working for me. So tomorrow I'm just gonna have to go get a caulk gun. I thought we had one around here, and I was asking my husband about it. I knew it was really old, and I couldn't remember if he kept it or not, but he said it was broken, and so he threw it away. So it is what it is. I'm frustrated. I really wanted to do this tonight and surprise my husband with the backsplash tomorrow, but oh well, it is what it is. So I'm gonna let you guys go for this evening, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow once I finally do the backsplash. Hey guys, we're on day 2 with this project. I went back and got the caulking gun, and I've already got it started because I didn't look like an idiot on camera because, quite frankly, I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I struggled getting the caulk going. My husband's home, and he was able to help me out. In the beginning, I was struggling. But look, look. Do we love it? I'm so excited. So we got those up. I wasn't so sure about this stuff. I mean, I've never worked with caulk before, but anytime I think about this stuff, I think about like a sealant, not like something for mounting. Though the guy had me pick this one up, which is a power grab molding and paneling. So it is for this. And oh, it works. Like as soon as I get it anywhere near the wall, it's like I'm stuck here for life. Like I have a hard time getting it into place. So I'm a little bit nervous about this next portion because it slips down behind my cabinets. So I'm thinking about just caulking the top portion that's gonna, I mean, it's gonna stick to the wall all the way down, but the part that's gonna slide behind the cabinets, I'm thinking about just like leaving it alone, or maybe just putting a little bit there, because I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to slide it back behind the wall or behind the cabinet if I have the caulk trying to stick to the wall. Because like I said, I had a hard enough time sticking it back here behind the stove, and I've got a lot more space behind the stove to work with than I do behind the cabinet. So we'll see how it goes, but it's time to get this one ready to go. Yeah, like the first time I loaded this thing, I was really struggling getting it loaded, and I was like, the lady gave me the wrong size, you know? Oh, come on, get in. I know you can. I just had the other one in here. See, I didn't want to look like an idiot on camera. I was trying to avoid that, and here we are doing it anyways. I might need my husband. So I think it's just like snapping. There we go, it's supposed to snap in. We got it, okay. So this side will hang towards the refrigerator once it's up, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, I had it right the first time. Neither side is gonna look perfect, but what I mean by that is like, if you look at it here, okay, it's got this kind of a border edge on one side, which is supposed to slide underneath another piece of paneling, like interlocking. And then the other side, like this one, would slide on top of another piece of paneling. The one I have hung up right now should have this slide on top, which would make complete lines. However, you don't have this little round guy in the middle, and I think it just looks a little weird. So it's either have these line up, or have, I just like the way it looks better with that. So that's what we're gonna roll with. Plus I like having this at the top underneath the cabinets versus another one of these vacant things. So this will shove down underneath the cabinet. So like I said, neither one's gonna look great, but that's what I'm choosing to do. Now Levi's Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants and Private Shaky.
Okay, we are at a stopping point for this tonight, but I'm excited with how it's turning out. It's not perfect. There are definitely some noticeable details, I guess you can just tell, right? Where it's like, that's looking a little patchworky. I think the key with this is make as few cuts as possible, which I feel like should be an obvious. But otherwise, I think it's looking pretty good. I'm undecided. Oh, I'll just turn you around. So I'm undecided with this part right here, and you guys will have to let me know what you think. Should I leave it right here as is? I kind of feel like it looks like a nice clean edge, right? Like I'm almost like, do I want to push it and try to finish it all the way to the window frame? Because I feel like it would look better if it went all the way. Like this piece is definitely, I mean, it's the right size, but it doesn't line up very well. So like this part lines up, but then you start seeing these bits and it's like, what's going on? So that kind of gives you an idea of what, okay, maybe if it'll stay in its seat. Okay, so that'll kind of give you an idea of what it would be to go all the way to the window frame. So what do you think? Push my luck and go all the way to the window frame, or end it on that flat edge like such? I feel like that just looks cleaner, right? Like, I don't know if I can get a professional enough looking cut for such a tiny piece, because trust me, this thing is not easy to cut. If you decide to do it on your own, I think I would recommend maybe trying the 10 snips. It says you can use scissors, which is mostly what I've used, and like, it's doable, but it's not easy to keep a straight line. And then I've also had one of these things, carpet cutters, I don't know what you want to call it, and it does okay-ish, but it's not great. Like, I've kind of been going between that knife and the scissors, so neither one is great. Back in here, I feel like could look so much better, like on this side here, right along that edge, and then on this side as well. I was able to drop it down behind the cabinet. You can see it popping up here by the fridge. So this just seems nice and clean and just slides back behind the cabinet, slides back behind the fridge. But then for whatever reason on this part of the cabinet, it is so tight to the wall that I cannot get it slid back there. So I had to do the best that I could. And it came down to having, I cut it weird. And it came down to having the option of having a gap here along the top or having a gap along the bottom. And if I chose to leave a gap at the top, then my corners didn't meet up well. They looked really wonky. So I chose, because like, you're not going to see very well up there, right? Like, let me throw, where'd that guy go? Let me throw this thing up here. You can see what I'm talking about. So, because this is about the same size as that cut right there. If you just leave it right there, stay in your seat. Ma'am, sit down. Hopefully it sticks. Okay, so from like here, you can't really tell that there's a gap at the top, right? Like, you're not going to really notice it. Any which way you go, you're not going to really see the gap at the top unless you're up in here, right? And then you're going to see it. It's not a very big gap. But, like I said, with this one over here, if I did that in the corner piece, my corners were not meeting and it just looked weird. It just did not look good. So I chose to leave the gap at the bottom, and then I cut off a sliver to run there on the edge. And this white paint here that's on the cabinet is not doing any favors. It's definitely looking like a white gap. It's not helping things. But anyway, I think it looks a little patchworky, but I think it looks better than it would have if I hadn't met up my corners, because the corners were just like, I feel like my eye was just drawn to how badly it was lined up. So this ain't great, but I've got stuff that is in front of it, so it's kind of going to be hidden anyways. And now my corners line up. So that's a little patchworky. Things got a little patchworky here along the light socket. Like, this isn't horrible. I mean, you can definitely tell that there's a lip here and feel it. And down here, I went a little too far. So, but at least everything's covered, but it's not great. I would like to like get new plates here at some point in time. And then on this side, I mean, they are made to be able to overlap, and so to look at them, they don't look that bad head on. But right here where I overlap these, like, you're just going to be able to feel that. That's just, I feel like it's very obvious and noticeable. But as a first timer doing this, I feel like overall the project is turning out pretty well. I'm currently invested roughly $150-ish in it, I would think. Somewhere in there. I gotta go back to Menards for one more piece. So far I haven't had any just like total F-ups where I just wasted an entire sheet, which that's good. Every piece I've had so far I've been able to use most of. So like, this is my biggest wasted piece so far, so, which I think isn't too bad. And then I've got a few just like random scraps from cutting, so, you know, we're doing pretty good. I've got faith in myself to get this last piece done, but we're gonna wait until tomorrow to do it because roads are getting bad out there. It's getting super cold, and like, I just don't want to go drive right now. Like, it's just getting gross out. So let me know what you guys think about finishing up this piece here. Take it to the window, leave it as is with the nice flat edge. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. I do have work tomorrow. I need to like clean the makeup out from under my eyes. Speaking of makeup, black eyeliner, fantastic for marking out where you're gonna put stuff. That's how I was marking out for my sockets there, which is black eyeliner, because then I could just easily wipe it off. Men, take note. Go get you some black eye. Go ask your girl. Be like, hey, we need to go down the makeup section. I need to get some black eyeliner. What is your best, cheapest recommendation? Because you want it to be soft enough to come off, right? But like to be able to draw with it. But you don't want it too hard, because some of them pencil eyeliners are so hard, it's hard to get anything off of. So, you know, men, just be aware. The one I have is probably a bit expensive for this, but I haven't used black eyeliner in forever. So, Lottie from Ipsy, I don't know. Have your girl take you to the makeup section and have her help you out some black eyeliner for your tool bag. It's easy to remove, okay? And then baby wipes turn out that they wipe up caulk really easily. So men, get you some baby wipes and some eyeliner, you'll be set. No problem. I was also surprised with how much cleanup time you have with the caulk. I really expected it to set super quickly because it's so sticky, like you barely get it by the wall and it's like, I'm here for life. Like it's hard to adjust it. But you can pull it up, you can maneuver it, you do have a little bit of time. It's just gonna make you work for it. And then when it comes to cleaning it up, you get anything watery near it, as long as it's not dry, it comes right off. It's pretty easy. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. We're almost done. I'm loving how this looks. Let's just back up and have another look from all the way on the other side of the kitchen. I'm so excited. It's looking very farmhousey with like my white panel and now my tin backsplash. I was so excited about this, guys. Oh my gosh, this looks great. Looks fantastic. Right, with the white paneling. I was thinking about doing the ceilings, but I think it'd be way too much. Plus it'd be so expensive because they're like $20 a sheet and that would take a lot to do my ceiling. Ignore my dusty ceiling fan. It needs cleaned. But I'm super excited about that, y'all. Like, that looks good. Can't wait to get this finished. So it's currently 7:30 and I'd say I started working around this around 4:30 to 5-ish. So, you know, about 3 hours or so. That's not bad, especially since I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm all just playing it by ear. So it'll probably take me maybe an hour tomorrow because I have to measure out for that light socket. And then once that's figured out, it's really easy to put up. So, yeah, I will check in with you guys tomorrow after I get off work. Hey guys, I am at work right now. I'm working on some Cobb salads. And I thought I'd just film myself doing it. Hey everyone, it is later in the day. It's probably like 7ish. I don't know. I forgot to film anymore after I made those salads at work. Yeah, so you didn't miss much. I made salads. Actually today at work, I worked what's called like the HMS room. I don't know what it stands for. Anyways, at the grocery store I work at, there are like these take and bake meals, and we have to like put them together at work. It's weird that they don't just come in pre-assembled because we're not really cooking anything. Everything comes in these kits and we just like assemble it. So today I did baked potatoes, which I actually bought some of those for the first time. I brought them home and they were delicious. Oh my gosh, I've always thought about it, but they're kind of pricey. However, I didn't feel like cooking, so I bought the potatoes and I got a rotisserie chicken and it was good. Those baked potatoes are like stuffed, like they're cut in half and then everything's taken out and mashed up and mixed in with like cheese and bacon bits and who knows what, and then it's piped back into the potatoes, packaged, frozen, and shipped to the store. And then we have to take them all out of their wrapping, put them in these containers to make them look nice, cover them with more cheese and chives, and then we get sour cream, put them in like these little cups with lids, and then put them into each of the containers, put the lid on it. So I'm like, we're not really cooking anything, we're just assembling. But I made, how many potatoes did I make today? I think I made 24 potatoes, which again is 4 potatoes per package, so 24 packages. And then I did 4 Cobb salads, which you guys seen me do. I did 12 macaroni and cheese, which they just sent in like these giant bags of noodles and these giant bags of liquid cheese. And we just mix them all together in a big container and then put them into the containers we sell them in, and then cover them in more cheese, like sharp cheddar cheese. And that's it. And then I did manicotti, which the manicotti noodles come frozen. They come pre-stuffed and frozen. We just portion them all out. You get 7 per, and then we put sauce on top. We like are doing nothing. I don't know. But yeah, I made manicotti, potatoes, macaroni and cheese, Cobb salad, and I think that was everything that I made today. My arm's getting tired at that angle. So after I did all of that, I went over to help out with clothing. And yeah, I spent like the last 2 hours of my day in clothing. And the clothing department is trashed. The lady, whoa, hi sir. What do you think you can get into? He's angry because there's something he wants and he cannot reach it. Is it your truck? Is that what you want? Your truck? Can you say truck? Truck? No? He's still not talking much. He's about 20 months. If anybody's new, he'll be 2 in May. Thanks. That's mine now. You're throwing it at me. It's mine. I'm gonna keep it. It's mine. You threw it at me. Oh, you're just gonna follow Daddy. You're gonna go cry to Daddy. He's just not talking a whole lot. We don't quite know why, but he's walking now. We're happy for that. So he's got Mama, Dada, and he likes to go or but he won't say yes or no, which at this age, no is normally their favorite word. And yeah, so we keep trying to get him to say stuff, but he's just doesn't even want to try. He's not trying to mimic or nothing. It's on the floor, buddy. You can get it. It's on the floor. I know you can get that. You're closer to the floor than I am. I know. He's been kind of fussy today. We don't think he's feeling too great. We've been in some Tylenol. He took a really long nap. And that's kind of what my husband said he was doing all morning until I got home. And we got him down for a nap. And he slept really good. And he was good for like a couple of hours. He got up around 4 and it's about 7ish now. So he's been up for about 3 hours and he's starting to get cranky again. So probably time for more Tylenol and probably be going off to bed here soon. But anyway, yeah. Didn't do a whole lot. What I was saying about clothing department it was a trash mess. Oh my gosh, it was a trash mess. They got a new person working the evening shift, and I don't know what she's doing. I don't think she knows what she's doing. And the girl who runs that department that I've been working with for the last, since like October, when I came back to work after my job being furloughed, she was gone for 4 weeks because she had family who had COVID, and so because she'd been exposed, she couldn't come in. And so the lady from, what are you doing? Look at him. He crawled under there. What are you doing, Bean? Oh no, you don't need that. It's gonna go right in your mouth. So anyway, the clothing department's been like a trash mess, and the lady who runs the department came back today for the first day, and I was helping her last couple of hours get things straightened out. But one of the head bosses said that now my department, which is demos, which they got rid of because COVID, which is food samples. If you don't know what demos is, food samples. They want us to check with the HMS and see if they need any help prepping the food. So I had to do that before I could go to clothing, which is what I had been doing for the last few months. And I enjoy clothing. I'd rather just be over there. Not that HMS isn't bad, but you looking at yourself? Oh. Oh. So, anyway, yeah. You rubbing your noggin. Oh, no, don't hit. Don't hit yourself. No. No. You're silly. You got chocolate pudding all over your face. So anyway, after work, came home, took a nap. It was lovely. Kids took naps and had dinner. Well, husband made some fried chicken. Lunch, we had the potatoes. We had a rotisserie chicken. I made some chocolate pudding. Whoa. Which you can see all over his face right here. And that's about it. So, a pretty boring day. I found somebody on Facebook Marketplace who was selling some full bunk beds. And Levi has been begging for bunk beds, and we've been, because his cousin has them. His cousin has them, and he thinks they're the coolest thing. So, I've been looking for full bunk beds because he's already in a full-size bed, and I don't want to like downsize him. And they were so expensive. They're like $400 to $1,500 for bunk beds on Amazon that are full. And this person was selling their full bunk beds with a drawer underneath for $175. So tomorrow, after Mike gets off work, we're gonna go over there, and I asked if I paid them like extra money if they would deliver it, and I was like, you know, my husband and I will come and help you load it, and we'll unload it here. Otherwise, I'll have to get a hold of my father-in-law to see if we can borrow his truck. And the guy was like, I'll just deliver it for free if you want to come over and help me load it. So tomorrow when the husband gets home, we're going to go over there and get the bunk bed. So that's going to be exciting. So I'll bring you guys along for that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Monday. Yoshi is eating his food. When I was leaving, but I'm sure he'll be back to make some noises, because you know if I'm filming, he's eating or drinking. So, I meant to show you guys these at the beginning of the vlog, and I forgot. Mom and I went to Cracker Barrel last week, and they had little Easter outfits for kids, so we got one for each of the boys. They're matching. They didn't give us the hangers, which I think is weird. Normally, I feel like they do. I don't know, we don't really need hangers, but it was just like a nice way to display it. They were hung up really nicely. But I thought I'd show them to you guys because they're super cute. So here is the boys' Easter outfits. I feel like, well, I guess I should be filming this way. My apologies, let me turn it around. As soon as I turn it this way, I feel like the white balance got weird. So the colors aren't quite as vibrant. Let me turn the light on and see if that helps me. There we go, that's more true to color. So how cute are these with the little suspenders and bow ties? I'm hoping it's warm enough for these by Easter time. Last year, I think we had snow on the ground. I think it was pretty cold out for Easter. So hopefully this will be warmer. But if not, I plan on getting them some long sleeve white shirts and some like knee-high socks. So there's one for each of them. This one's for Ira. That one's for Levi, but identical. I like to twin them Okay, I like dressing them up in matching outfits. I cannot wait. So that is their Easter outfits. They were $25 a piece, $24.99. It's 25 bucks. Mom bought them both, and they're so cute. I love the stuff they get at Cracker Barrel, but it's super boutique, how you want to say that. So they're always a little more expensive, but they're super cute. And see, he's eating. Oh, now you're gonna leave. As soon as I try to call you out, you're gonna leave. It wasn't me. It wasn't me munching back there. Anyway, all the boys are up and awake. They've been fed. Sounds like somebody's on the trampoline right now. I'm gonna get these clothes put away, and I need to get Levi dressed. I forgot the baby's dressed. I need to get Levi dressed. Okay, lunchtime for the kids. We had some leftover fries from Arby's the other night, so I put those in the air fryer. So they're having French fries with honey mustard dipping sauce, grilled cheese sandwiches, grapes, some little nerd candies, and a sparkling water. We had the orange and cream. So that's for the babies, cut up all nicely. And here is Levi's. I made one for myself as well. We had some hamburger buns we need to get used up, so I just used them to make grilled cheese, but you get the drift. Oh, you get what I'm saying. Okay, so we just got the bunk bed put together, and Ira is excited. We weren't thinking he would be ready to sleep in here, but he is all about it.
I put my phone in the drawer.
Can you show the vlog how you climb up the ladder? Can you do that?
Yeah. Okay.
You got your step stool there. He doesn't really need the step stool. It just makes him feel a little more secure having it. And how many rungs do you have?
2.
4. You count them on your way up.
I
Well, you don't jump. Don't jump up there. You sit. Sit. Thank you. You don't want to stand around up there. Can you climb back down?
Okay. Gotta go backwards to do
Yep.
it.
Gotta go backwards to do it. And count. How many you got? Oh, you're good. That's the long one, remember. Stretch, stretch, stretch. You'll make it.
Yep, there you put your hand on
There you
that
go.
one.
There you go. You got it. Good job. You got the tiny one and then your footstool. Good job.
You got my black car.
You've got your black car.
Not in the bed.
So yeah, it's a little weird, the ladder here.
Not in the
That one's pretty normal. That one's normal. And this one's like a little bit longer. You need a short one. So this one right here throws him off. Oh, we got our first boo-boo on the bunk bed. Hey guys, I just did some damage at Walmart. Now I gotta go to the bank and take out like $300 so I can pay my credit card off. Which thankfully I have the money to do that, but like, I was hoping to get us up to like $1,000 in savings for just like a case of emergencies. We're almost there. We're sitting like right about 800. I gotta go pay this off. I just spent I've been spending major money lately. Like, I talked at the very beginning of this vlog about like feeling like we're never gonna find a house to buy. And I'm kind of coming to the conclusion and the acceptance that like now's not the time. Like, the good Lord above is just saying no. And I say that because, and I'm not talking about religion a lot on here, but I am a Christian. I don't go to church as much as I'd like to because I work on Sundays. But we'll get into that here in a second. Anyway, my husband and I back, like, I don't know, it's been a couple of months. Like, we started looking for houses, geez, like back last summer, I think, is when we really started thinking about it and talking about it. And there was a house we were very interested in back in like July. And then it was still sitting around empty by October. And so we decided, well, we've been thinking about it since July. Let's get ourselves pre-approved, because we started talking to our realtor. And she's like, we'll get pre-approved, and then I will get in touch with the owners and we'll find out what's going on with the house, because it's just been sitting empty. And as it all came out, you know, as I've told you guys, it was taken under the studs. It's completely gutted on the inside. And honestly, my realtor couldn't even get any information from the actual owners. I only found out it was gutted on the inside. because of I think it's Trulia, had it listed as gutted down to the studs. And I stopped off and looked inside the windows and seen it was gutted to the inside. So that's how we know how bad it is. And then my realtor couldn't get a hold of anybody. And she said, it seems like it's in the middle of some kind of a foreclosure issue. So we don't even know what's happening there. But that was the whole reason we started trying to look into getting houses. I mean, granted, we're not in the best neighborhood, and we have felt for a while now like maybe at some point we would like to get something else somewhere, but like that house is what started the whole process of looking. And before that, my husband and I have been talking about, as the boys get older, that we would like to get them a set of bunk beds, put them in the same room together so that we'd free up one of the bedrooms for a playroom. And then if we did foster care one day, like we would have room for that, because something that we've always talked about doing. And I always wanted to get the boys a set of full-size bunk beds because Levi was already in a full-size bed and I didn't want to downsize him. And so we were looking at getting full-size bunk beds, but those are so expensive. Like when I first started looking, I was finding them on like Zillow and Amazon for like $600 and up. I looked again recently, like back in December-ish time frame, and I found one for $400. But they're just expensive. And so we were like, well, if we're thinking about buying another house, then we'll put off getting full-size bunk beds, because if we get another house, we want it to be bigger than what we have now. And so the kids will have their own room, and hopefully there'll be space for a playroom and all that stuff. So we just kept putting off bunk beds, and we were like, you know, tax time, we'll look into it, or maybe not, or, you know, we didn't know what we were doing. So it seems like house after house after house has just been a no for us. Like that one house I told you guys about was completely gutted on the inside. There was a house we wanted to go look at, and we had an appointment to go and see it, and literally 3 hours before our appointment, our realtor called and told us that it had sold. They accepted an offer. There was another house we were very interested in, and it all came out that they only wanted a conventional mortgage. They were not interested in a USDA loan, which a house out in the country, the benefit of that is that you get these USDA loans, which is no money down. And, you know, that's kind of like the whole perk. It's like, okay, all this money we have saved back for our house could just stay in the bank for any kind of like investments we need to make into the property. And, you know, we could get the house no money down. And these people like had it listed as new plumbing, new electrical, new roof, new water softener, new water heater. I want to say a new actual heater. Like those are those whole lists of brand new stuff put into this house. And the reason they didn't want to take a conventional, the reason that they wanted only a conventional mortgage is because they didn't want to have to be reliable or liable for anything that came up in an inspection to have to fix it. So if you got a USDA loan, not only would you pay for a normal inspection like you would a conventional mortgage, but the lender would also send out for an inspection. And I think there's also I think they also do an appraisal to make sure it's being sold. You know, it's not like being overcharged. And that freaked us out. We were like, you know, this house is in the country. That's one of the benefits of it, is that you can get the USDA loan and have no money down. And they've got like this whole list of stuff that they've completely, you know, updated on the house. And yet they only want to take a conventional mortgage. That was just like a big red flag for us. We were like, there's got to be something more going on. And this house is sitting on a septic system and likely a well. I don't know how much it costs for a new well to get dug, but I know a septic system, you're looking at like 14 to 15,000, maybe more. And so that just really had this very uncomfortable feeling. So we pulled out, and that house was like, it was perfect. It was 5 bedrooms with a dining room that you could use as an extra. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, it had 3 bedrooms upstairs. It had 2 bedroom downstairs. One was the master with an ensuite. The other one was right off from the living room, and we were like, we can make this into a playroom for the kids. And the kitchen was huge, and it was like an eat-in kitchen, but then off from there was a dining room, and we're like, Mike can have that as like a home office. It was, oh, we wanted it. But you know, we had the big old red flag, and we were like, it's not, we don't want to get in there, drop all this money, and then have to get a whole new septic system or a well or both, or who knows Maybe it's ate with termites. I don't know. But, you know, it was just like a big red flag for us. And that's what they specifically told our realtor was we only want a conventional mortgage because we don't want to be liable for anything that comes up during an inspection. So we walked away from that. And then during all this whole house hunting looking thing, there's been other things we've like looked at and talked about, but like these were the ones we were most serious about. We've had, and my realtor keeps sending us things, but like these are the only ones that have like really hit all of the marks for us. There's been others that we've talked about and looked at, like not gone to look at anything, but like talked about and looked at online, but there's been something not quite right with them that we weren't interested. I hope that makes sense. These are just the ones that we wanted that ticked all the boxes for us. And there was one more on the back burner this whole time, and that was the house that was my friend's mom's house. And so we had finally decided, you know what, I think this is going to be it for us. It's in the right school district, which the other houses had not been in the right school district. And it had everything we wanted. So with exception to, it was on a busy road, and it had an electric stovetop instead of a gas range, which I would prefer. Those were the only two issues. So my husband and I had finally talked about it and decided, you know what, if she's ready to sell, this is the house we're interested in. And we're hoping to wait until after tax time to have a little more money in our pocket, and then we're going to approach her, though we had like just enough. And this house is like in town, so you would have to do a conventional mortgage. You couldn't do the USDA loan, whereas all the other houses we were looking at were out in the country, so you could do the USDA, which is no money down. So we were ready. Like, we've been talking about it, and literally like the day after we made this decision, like we were actually sitting on the couch looking at pictures, me and Levi, because Levi likes to look at the pictures of the houses on Zillow, and we were like sitting there looking at everything and like talking about where things were gonna go. And my friend sends me a text and says, hey, mom just sold the house. She told me as soon as I got home. She's like, a realtor's office got a hold of her and asked if she wanted to sell it, and apparently she was behind on the mortgage. And so I can't get, you know, mad at that. Like, that was a blessing she needed. She got more money from the realtor's office than she would have from us. Like, they bought it for $150. She was gonna sell it to us for $140, and that was like top budget for us. I was like we're approved for $200,000, but we were wanting to stay right around $100 to $120, and this house she was wanting $140 for us, just because I've been friends with her daughter since 3rd grade. So she was really cutting us a deal on that, and it was really gonna like kind of break the bank to get it. And so, you know, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. But I know it was definitely a huge blessing for her mom. Her mom needed to get out from under that house. So, you know, I'm not like feeling any kind of way about that. I know it was a blessing for her, and I can't be offended by that. And so I've just taken a step back and thought, you know, I feel like God is just telling us no on all these houses. No, like, it's just not the time for you to move. Like, every single one has been a no. Even all the way down to that one that sold literally 3 hours before we went to go look at it. And that house was priced at $89,000. It was out in the country, so it would have been a USDA loan. It was 2-bathroom. It had a nice yard. It had 2-car garage. It was a 4-bedroom house. And yeah, like, we were excited and pumped. It was in a tiny little town. Good school district, which is the one that my cousin's kids are going to go to. So it wasn't like our first choice school district, but like Levi would have had friends going there. And like 3 hours before, and it was only on the market for 3 days. Like, that thing went fast. And we made an appointment to go see it like as soon as we were able to, because Mike's work, he was having to leave and stuff. But it just, man, you know, and it just feels like every single one has been a no. And at some point you just have to take a step back and listen and be like, okay, God is saying no to all of this. It's just not the right time. Like, I feel like for whatever reason, it's just not meant for us to be moving right now. And then the really big awakening for me, I guess, or really noticing of it, is that the bunk beds came up, right? These bunk beds that we've been talking about getting, but they're so expensive, came up on, like, we got a big old slam no for that house. That was my mom's friend's house. It was like the last house on our list. And I hate saying it like that, but the only reason was for the financial aspect. There's like nothing else listed online right now that we're remotely interested in. That was the last house that we were like thinking about, and it was a big no. And then like literally a couple days after that, these bunk beds get listed on Facebook. They're priced at like under $200. He wanted $175 for them. He was willing to deliver them for us. And it just all fell into place for that. Like, there's very minimal effort on my part other than saying, hey, we're interested, and do you deliver if I pay you a fee? And my husband and I will come and like help you take everything apart and load it and unload it at our house. And the guy, when we were like in the process of loading everything into our house, made the comment that like 12 other people after me had messaged wanting these bunk beds. And it's like, you know, when God says no, you know, he really says no. But then when he says yes, like there's so minimal effort on your part. Things just fall into place so quickly. Like these bunk beds were just, that was like our original plan, was we were going to put the boys in the same bedroom together. We were going to open up the back room for a playroom. And, you know, we were just saving up money for these bunk beds. And now it was like, here, no on the houses, you know, closing doors, but here's a little window open. Here's those bunk beds you were talking about. They're nearly perfect. They came with the mattresses, which normally you'd have to buy separately. If you know, got them online, you have to buy mattresses separately. And the mattresses were like hardly used. My husband, while helping the man take everything apart at his house and load everything up, they were talking. And I guess the guy had mentioned that, like, you know, he had 2 teenage daughters and he was divorced and like hardly seen his kids. So the beds were like not really used at all. And they were practically new. There's like one little smudgy spot that I think some Goo Gone would take care of. I don't really know what it is, but like maybe nail polish or something. But it's such a small spot. And like, I got 2 toddlers, like they're gonna trash it, okay? Like, are you kidding me? Right? Like, they're rough on stuff. I'm sure they're gonna have potty accidents. Like, Ira's not even started potty training yet. Like, things happen, you know? And now Levi's like fully potty trained, but he's still little enough that like accidents are still going to happen, you know, like they may be, you know, weeks in between, but I'm sure he will still have accidents just because he's so little. Like, it's going to happen, you know? So anyway, I feel like that was just like a big blessing. And not only were we able to buy it considerably cheaper than we would have getting it online, they were practically new. They came with the mattresses. The guy was willing to deliver them for us, and we had enough cash on hand that we were able to pay him extra just because we knew what kind of a deal we were getting, and we were so thankful for him bringing it to us. Like, he said he'd deliver for free, but we paid him extra. So, you know, when God closes the door, he opens a window. And so we spent this whole afternoon turning Ira's bedroom into a playroom, and now all the beds are in Levi's room, and Ira's trying out the bunk bed for nap time. He's sleeping on the bottom bunk, and Xavier is still in the pack and play. We were gonna let him sleep in the crib, and we took the railing off the crib to make it a toddler bed, but then we got to thinking about it, and we're like, how are we going to keep, and Xavier's the little boy that I babysit for, how are we going to keep him contained during nap time? And same question with Ira, but Ira seems like afraid to get off the bunk bed, so we thought we'd try him out on it. He loves being up there, but he cries when he wants down, which is weird because it doesn't set up any higher than the couch, and he climbs on and off the couch all the time. So like, I'm fully confident that he can get up there and get off. He just is afraid to do it. So I was like, well, we'll try him up here since he's afraid to get down. Maybe he'll lay down and take a nap. He's excited to be up there anyways. And so we just put Xavier in the pack and play for nap time, because it was, Ira was in the crib and Xavier was in the pack and play in Ira's room, and then Levi had his bed in his bedroom. But yeah, so we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, we switched everything around. Now the boys, all 3 of them, are going to be sleeping in one bedroom, and we turned another room into the playroom and put all the toys in there. So I just got done at Walmart, and I spent just like a ton of, oh, you really gonna park right next to me? Seriously? Oh good, he's just driving through. I park out in the middle of nowhere, and I always have people want to park next to me. I'm like, why? So anyways, I thought we could just do a little haul here, and we'll finish things up on this video. I needed to get pillows for Ira's bed, so I got 2 of these pillows. Nothing too exciting with that. And then hopefully I don't knock everything down. I got this for Ira. It's a body pillow. I can't pull it all the way up because it's gonna knock stuff around, but it's a big fluffy body pillow. I did notice with these bunk beds, up the part that bunks up against the wall, there's like a small gap, and you can feel like the frame like between the wall and stuff. It just kind of sets out, so I thought that would go there and just kind of block that off. It's not very big, but it's big enough that I could see him like maybe getting a leg stuck in there. I don't think he would get fully stuck in there, but I could see him like putting a leg down there or something. But I don't think he could get stuck. Like, I think he could pull it back out. I just wanted the body pillow to block that off anyways. And then I got a whole bunch of Valentine's stuff. These I just got because they look good. I haven't had these in ages. You guys like these? They're like the little sweet ones. They're sweet and salty, and they got like the honey flavoring. They're really good. There's all kinds of stuff in here. So I got 3 of these. I got one for my dad, and then one for my father-in-law, and one for my husband. So they say I love you, and I thought that the boys could just give these to their grandpas. So there's 3 of those. I'm gonna keep one out here, and I'll show you guys why here in a second. And then I got beef jerky for each of the grandpas. So this one is for my father-in-law. It's peppered jerky. He will like that. He likes spicy things. And then I got 2 cases of strawberries because Levi wanted to make chocolate covered strawberries for his grandparents for Valentine's Day. So 2 cases of strawberries. And then I got 2 of the chocolate dippers, and then 1 of the white chocolate. And there's little candy pieces that you melt. And so he can do that up for his grandparents. And then I got this for the boys. I didn't get anything for Xavier because we're not going to have him on Valentine's Day since it's over the weekend. But yeah, got these for my own boys. It's little hedgehogs with a little candy box. There's one for each of them. You guys see it. I got these for my mom and my mother-in-law. There's 2 of them. I'm just going to show you one because they're very delicate. But they're both the same thing. They were like $5. Yeah, see this leaf already got busted. They're so delicate. They're like these little, oh, they're not cactuses, but they're the succulent plants. And they got these pretty little flowers on them. So one for each of the moms, or grandmas, I should say. And then I got assorted chocolates. There's 4 boxes of assorted chocolates. So that's what they look like. 1 for each of the boys, Levi and Ira, and then 1 for each of the grandmas. Like I said, the grandpa's got jerky. And then it should be, there's like a whole bunch here. Original, that'll be for my dad. And then for Mike, I think I got too big of a bag. But I always do him up a Valentine that's like full of like jerky. And I'm going to give him to him now because he'd asked me if they had this at the store. And I went ahead and bought it for him for Valentine's Day. But it's a game controller that hooks up to your cell phone. So I'm going to tuck that in there in case he needs the receipt. But I'm pretty sure I got the right one. And I know he's been eyeing that for a while. He literally, like, I just gotten everything out to the car and he sends me a text with a picture of this. And he goes, if you're still there, can you see if they have this? And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go buy it for him and put it in his Valentine. So put that in there. And then I got him some original jerky, some teriyaki jerky, some maple flavored bacon jerky. I got him some snack sticks and one of these big old meat and cheese logs. And I also got my husband a peppered jerky. So, and then he's got his little coffee mug with his puppy. And yeah, so that's what I got my husband for Valentine's Day along with everybody else. And then I got myself a salad. I can show you that here in a second. I'm just hungry, so I just picked up a salad while I was there. And I also got my husband a couple cases of cherry flavored Coke Zero, along with a bag of dog food. So, and then, I don't know. Do you want to see my salad? I thought it looked good. Kind of like the Cobb salad that I was making at work. Just smaller. Salad. Chicken, egg, bacon, cheese. So, I'm going to go on home, give Mike his Valentine gift early. It's this weekend and today's Tuesday. And yeah, get all the stuff put away. So that's going to be it for this video. I really hope you did enjoy hanging out with me. I never finished that wall in the kitchen. I still need to get that other piece of paneling, but at this point I feel like I've spent so much money, like I need to get my credit card paid off first. Like I've just been dropping money like crazy because kind of having a grown-up temper tantrum, if we're being honest. I've just been like spending money. I mean, I'm glad we got the bunk beds, but still spent the money on that. That we paid in cash. And then my credit card just now, I just put like $300 on it. It doesn't feel like this stuff should be $300, but and then I went and got my hair dyed recently, which I needed, but that was like another $60. And then I don't know, guys, like I maxed out one of my credit cards, which is only like a $300 limit, which is normally the one that I carry. And then my other one with a $2,000 limit, I've got $300 on it right now. So I'm sitting at like $600 that I've just been like spending money because I'm pissed off because I can't get a freaking house. So like I'm hear you, God. I hear you. I get it. It's not the time. And so I need to like stop having this temper tantrum, pay off my credit cards, put them away, and be happy with what I have, you know? But anyways, that's gonna be it for me today. I hope you guys did enjoy. Well, I guess been, you know, a couple of days. I'm gonna go home and eat my salad. If you're new, I hope you decide to take the time to check out my channel, see if there's anything else you would like to watch. And I hope to connect with you guys in the comments below. Let me know what you guys got your significant other or your kids for Valentine's Day. And yeah, thanks for watching.